Hey, Mar.
Andrew!
What's going on?
Hey,
You get
God.
divorced again, I heard?
Yeah, I did.
Want to talk
Give me
about
this
it?
fucking
Yeah,
drink.
I do.
All right, ready?
Here you go.
Welcome.
Is the
Two?
camera on?
The
Happy?
Never.
After.
pod.
Podcast is one word.
I know, but that's why it's funny.
Are you going to do the intro? Or am I going to do the intro?
You are. You're the host of the show.
Okay.
I just think it's the funniest thing in the world.
Welcome to the Happy Never After podcast. This is a very, very special episode.
Why?
Because we have Dr. Gerber with us. He's going to assess.
You're fucking kidding.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
We know doctors.
Yeah, one.
And what are you trying to do?
We're trying to assess our relationship, Andrew T. Collin relationship, and myself.
Really?
Yes.
Sounds good.
So Dr. Gerber's a psychologist.
Yes.
And he's very smart. And and me and Mara,
We're dumb.
We're dumb.
Oh, no, I don't believe it.
And yeah, and
We're best friends.
Doctor, what do I do now?
But we've never fucked,
No.
and we don't want to.
And so go ahead, Doc. And Dr.
Well-
Gerber.
Okay, tell us what's wrong with
First
us.
of all, that in and of itself isn't a problem.
Okay, thank
So
God.
we can wrap this up immediately.
Perfect.
All right, thank you.
Good
All right,
joke.
good night,
Good joke.
everybody.
I mean, some people believe that men and women can't be friends, right?
Yes.
But I think usually, men have the harder time with it than women because usually, not in all cases, but in many cases, guys become friends with a woman they want to have sex with because the sex isn't available to them, right? And then it's like a consolation, a friendship, or it's the long game sometimes. So when that's the case, then it's really unhealthy. And then you have, it's a situation that's not good. But if it's just a friendship where both the male and the female or whatever, aren't lusting after each other, then then I don't see any problem there.
Well, we
I mean,
I think
we can look for other problems for sure. But
Yeah.
I think we have opposite, like the typical roles of males and females. I think you and I we switch those a little bit. I feel like
Yeah, you're a fucking.
you're an alpha female, is that
I
it?
am. I
Yeah.
think.
An annoying female. She's very assertive, and
Yes.
I'm very passive.
Okay.
Yes. I'm
And-
very sexual. You're.
Asexual man. I'm not too sexual myself. I'm trying to get better with it, but whatever.
He grabs his own tits.
That is a virtue, not being so sexual as a guy, because then you can focus on other stuff. I mean, you're lucky not to be preoccupied by sex every minute of every day like most guys.
Thank you, doctor.
If that's really true. I don't know what's going I mean, I don't know if you're repressing something or if you really are, if you really do have a low.
I don't know because
I think it's
feel
a mixture of both, probably.
Yeah. I feel like you'd get your fuck on if you had your shit together.
I just don't like the stuff that comes with fucking, like the anxiety of seeing the person or dealing with STD or like I just get a lot of anxiety when it comes to like if I have sex with a comic, seeing her at an open mic,
Yeah, that's fair.
like. So I just don't like dealing, like if I know that person's gonna be in my life, but I could fuck like a random stranger,
Right.
And I want to fuck her more probably because I know that there's no.
But if it's someone who's somehow connected to your life in any way, it's more anxiety.
Like Mara tried to hook me up with one of her friends, and I was like, I don't want to do that because if I know Mara, she's gonna talk to her friend.
Which I did.
Yeah, before I even fucked her or even went out on a date. So I just felt like it would be very like.
Well, it was really bad pickup game. There was gonna be no date.
But do I see that? Like I don't want that in my life.
You mean Mara's gonna like knock you down in like a friendly way before you go out? She's gonna know all your flaws and she's gonna know. And Mara likes all that stuff about you, but she's setting you up with someone, and that person's gonna come in like, oh yeah, you're always this or that.
Well, he asked the girl. He goes. He said this is what he did. He goes, "Do you like bowling?" And then she goes, "Yeah, I love it. Cool." And then radio silence for 2 days, and then he texts.
No, not 2 days. But anyways, go ahead.
Radio
Whatever you heard.
silence, and then I read the text, and then he goes, "Yeah, I just went bowling."
Oh, that's great. It's a good joke.
Well, it wasn't a joke. It was
No,
just
but it
being
could
honest.
be a good
Yeah,
joke.
it could be a joke.
Yeah.
No, but like the point being is like I don't want her to read that. Like I don't. So
Right,
so
right.
it's like when a
So-
friend hooks up with a friend, I should be fine with that though in a way too. I know that's on me some too. I should be like, but whatever. But it's like
It's fair to want to be discreet and have privacy in your romantic life.
Oh, is it fair to be discreet and have a little privacy? I feel like
Yeah.
you reveal every single thing in
Oh,
my
but-
life.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Well, you reveal yourself though too to
I
other
reveal
people,
what I
and then
Want.
I think sometimes you get mad at me for revealing, even though you're a very revealing person.
We went to a dinner on Sunday, and I don't tell a certain friend anything about me having sex. He thinks
Which I
that
didn't know. Which I
He
didn't.
thinks I've never had sex. And then we were talking about
Which
someone
is
else.
crazy.
Why is that, by the way? Is it because this guy's really puritanical and you don't want to shock him? Or is it because you don't want him, you're afraid he's going to judge you?
No, he just, if I ever even broach the subject, he starts to like retract a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave him in this little bubble that he thinks that, and I'm like, okay, fine. And then he goes,
He gets uncomfortable.
yes. And then he was like, yeah, but you hooked up with that guy. And I was like, wait, Andrew, let me tell him that.
Yeah, I didn't know that he didn't know. I just assumed that he could read it on your face. But no, but like we are very open
There's a lot of
with
cum
each
left
other.
Right.
And we're very open on this podcast, and so sometimes I don't know where the line is.
Right.
And that could
It's public knowledge, a lot of things. They seem like public
Yeah.
knowledge because you're putting it out on the podcast.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know sometimes, and I say like I apologized and I am sorry about that, and like so I just told 4 more people, and then and then I put it online, and
I read that post.
yeah, you
That's
read
a
the
good
post.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
I
post.
just said the names and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last names.
Yeah.
That's all I did. No, but like I know I did. I felt bad, and like that's where what happens sometimes is where we don't know where the line is, or
Right.
at least with me.
And then feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, you guys develop having a podcast together and being close
And we
friends.
run
You
shows
have
together.
a relationship.
Yeah.
Even
We
though
do.
you haven't fucked, you have a relationship that probably crosses the line into, maybe not romantic, but certainly like, that.
Codependency.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't want to frame it like negatively, but it definitely is not a typical platonic friendship where you guys are seeing each other once every, month and catching up.
Mm-hmm.
You're in each other's lives in a very significant way. You're like brother and sister, except you're not related and you could fuck, and that's kind of like always in the background.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to fuck up our relationships in the future? Because I would like to be in a relationship. I know you want to be in a relationship. I know, and people ask me all the time, they're like, are you going to be ever in a relationship with Andrew? And I would never wish that on him.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I want you to be married and have kids, but with like someone fresh. Someone
Fresh.
that hasn't like lived a life.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Someone that
I don't think there's like, yeah, I don't envision us. Like,
You don't pine away for each other, right?
No.
You're not like home like,
No.
why is he out with that other girl? You're
no,
not home.
I don't care. If
You're not
I
home-
actually encourage her to fuck as much as possible, or no,
But then
I
you
actually,
could be
it's not
you could
just
be
that.
her cuckold in that case.
It's not just that. I mean, I'd sit in the
If
corner.
you could get off on it, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good situation.
Yeah, but
and that works for a lot of people.
I don't want to be a cuckold. But
No.
but no,
You
but,
were never jealous ever when she's talking.
no,
At all?
not even a little bit. If anything, the only
There
thing
hasn't been anything positive that you've ever said about anyone that I've ever.
That's not
been
true.
with.
I said I liked the chemist for a second.
For a second.
Well, you don't date good people. You have never dated one good person.
I know.
So and then you constantly then do it, and then
Because you get invested. And then you spend this time, and then you're like, I don't feel like doing this all over again. So just marry him and then get divorced.
How many decent guys out there are there? And you're probably just attracted to who you're attracted to, right? Unfortunately, they're not always.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Attraction's fucked up.
It really is.
It really is. It's hard to override what you're attracted to. It really is.
it's also how you value yourself and what you think you deserve. And that's where I get upset. And it's not about jealousy. It's just about as a friend, like I just want her to be happy. And I think she puts herself in situations that make her sad.
But it's
and,
never
and then she then pushes that into work, and then she works her ass off because she doesn't want to take a second to like think of, because I don't know, I started going to therapy and I want her to go as well.
This
and
is
like,
it, isn't this it?
yeah, so I guess this is
Start?
it. Yeah,
We're going to do this every week for 40 minutes.
No, you're not going to be on our podcast all the
We
time.
got-
Stop trying to get our fans. No, actually not. And so, and then I feel like what happened is like she'll work so hard, and then to a point of like almost breaking and then have panic, and then sometimes that gets pushed onto me and I don't know how to deal with it because I'm very passive and try to be as chill as possible, and so that will lead to fights because like she'll come at me and then it's almost like she's mad that I'm so not mad, but like I don't maybe work as hard because I'm just dog walking and I have a situation that's actually pretty good where I don't have to do 2 jobs.
Right.
And I feel like there's like not a bitterness. I don't know. You can talk about it. Not a bitterness towards, but I sometimes I feel that energy, and it's hard for me because I don't know how to then voice my.
Well,
concern.
I'd like you to pitch in more.
It's really interesting. You guys have so much of the relationship dynamic. You really do.
No, that's
so
the problem.
I get it now. You guys really do have a relationship dynamic.
We do.
I mean, what's going to happen is one of you will end up in another relationship, and that will take probably the place of that to some degree. At least the real neuroses and the bickering and that kind of stuff, that will shift into your partner. So
Do you hope so? Do you think so? I think
on some level, yeah. I think that it will reduce a little bit when one of you guys get in a relationship.
Well, she did get in a relationship, and
did it improve a little?
we didn't talk.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah,
There
it
you
was great.
go.
It was great. It's the best thing ever. But this was before the podcast.
Oh, it was before the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you got in another relationship or you guys would see each other for the podcast and you'd be in touch, but a lot of that energy that you have that's, frustration, stress, anxiety, you would deal with that. You would handle that in your new relationship.
Well, I feel like we
I'm
have.
not suggesting you find somebody specifically so you can, not fight, because that's not good either.
Well, I just want to find someone so I don't have to like sleep around. I would like to have like a regular.
You could use a cuckold would be great for you, geez. Because then you could fuck like you like to, but also have the relationship. Or you're saying you don't want to sleep around at all.
I don't want to sleep
You're
around.
only doing that because you're just getting your needs met. You'd rather get your needs met in a relationship or something.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
That'd be easier.
easier.
Less work. Like going out, having to teach
I know
everybody.
it gets harder as you get older, man. Running around, and going out, and going to bars, and
They
I
get
get
so
it.
lazy, and then
Yeah.
the older they are, the worse they are in bed because they're just tired.
Oh,
and they're
really?
Like, yes.
Funny. I think there's a certain peak for a guy because you learn.
Yeah, like 35.
Think so?
And then after 40, they
saying this
start
is
to
like-
like.
I'm saying
I know,
this
you're
is a
saying
40-year-old
man. Like, I love when the therapist starts going, really?
Yeah.
I fuck good, though. I could fuck good. Really, therapist?
I don't want to say I could fuck good. I want to say I could fuck better than when I was 35 at 40. I could fuck better with 35 when I was 30. But
Well,
now I realize this decline is impending. It's a really nice thing to think.
Well, I just feel like as they get old, you just lose energy.
Okay. So
there's
you need to
just,
find like a 35-year-old.
No, I don't want a 35-year-old. I just need to learn how to be a little bit better. Yeah. Just have one person.
But why does it make me so upset, right? If when she goes, she just said it for a second, but she didn't go into, but she goes, I want you to pitch in more. And
What does she mean by that? What do you mean by that? Sorry.
and it really upsets me. And I don't know why it upsets me so much. And I don't know how to tell her.
Are you talking expressly about the podcast? Are you saying
Yes.
Okay. So
I am talking about the podcast.
would you like to elaborate?
I do feel like there are a lot of things that we need to do for it to have a broader reach. There are a lot of people out there that don't know about the podcast that have been divorced, and I feel like there are things that we could both be doing, and I have to coordinate with Marshall to get the studio time. I come in to make sure that to get things done. You do help with getting guests, but typically it's me coordinating. I have to handle the social media marketing person typically 100%, like 80% of the time. It's just a lot, and I have a lot of jobs that I can't talk on the phone. So it's too much, and I don't sleep because of it. And it would be nice if you could just I'll take this on. I will take this on and I'll execute it, and you don't have to worry about it. Because sometimes you say, okay, I'll take it on, and then it doesn't get done, so then I have to worry about it forever and ever.
Okay. But
Think it's fair? Or
I think
real
it's fair.
relationship?
I think it's fair to a point. I do think that
This is like you could extrapolate this to a relationship. I have to work. I come home. I do the dishes. I do the laundry. He invites people over for Saturday dinner. He does. He does. He does get people over for our dinner parties. But I'm doing. You're saying you're doing the grunt work
Yes.
A lot of the grunt work.
Yes.
But then you also said earlier that you're like an alpha female. You take control, you take charge. So maybe that dynamic initially evolved naturally, and now you're like, this is overwhelming.
Well, there's even like little things that he'll do. Like I'll help him out with his dogs, and he'll take a percentage of that. But then he'll help me out with my situation, and I'll just give him 100%. And then I'll just offer things, and it's. I feel like I do things, which is fine, but then it's just a funny part of our dynamic. And maybe it's just a little, like, I don't know.
Do you
Is that
Jewish? No, I give her $90 on $100.
Fucking
85.
Or 85 on
right.
$100. I take 15 for taxes, right? That's that. So and
For taxes.
and,
That he's never
and I've
paid.
given her a lot of dog sits, and it's like I didn't even know that was a thing.
Dog
that was,
sits or dog
and,
walks?
And she's had me walk a dog once, and she paid me $45 for the 45. That was so. I mean, that's just a weird thing to bring up now. But the other thing, and
These are
like
things that I think about.
yeah, these are just things that she writes up on a board and she scratches in her back. I just feel like there's a lot of like adding up and like I do this, but you don't do that, and it's very frustrating for me because like, and I'll admit maybe I don't do as much, right? Like I'll admit like fault there, but then it's also like I don't want to feel like I'm being there's a scorecard always going on in her head.
Right.
And then when that gets brought up, it's like we'll have one argument, but then it's like, yeah, but I did this, and this, and this, and
I
then,
feel like that's me displacing my previous relationships on this relationship,
oh,
though.
well, thanks.
So
Well,
I
that's
think
actually
a lot of
well.
that
I think there's a
is
lot.
me.
I know, and I'm not good at voice. And I think what happens is, then I'll be like, well, fucking, like I'll like be like, well, I'm fucking out of here. Instead of being like, well, why are you tallying that? Like the tallying, like
Right. So
I just
we're doing it now.
yeah.
Why are you tallying?
because I just don't want to get abused.
It's fair.
Yes.
I mean,
But I never
taking advantage.
purposely
Abused is maybe a strong word. Taken advantage of
Yes.
by
Yeah.
Andrew anyway. He's
Yeah.
not abusing you, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm not strong enough. She's pretty strong. I mean, look at the bruises, but I swear that's.
Got to see the other guy.
Yeah. No, so it's just like, yeah, I get that. I get the taking advantage, but it's like, and never once do I want her to think like it's a one-sided thing. Like I really don't, because I think I do. Sometimes I feel like I do help her, and it's not realized on her end, or if it is realized, it's not. It doesn't. I don't know. That I don't
Right.
know it.
And you don't want to be, or well, tally that one for me.
Yeah, and I don't want to. It's just like I really do want to just chill. Like New York is stressful enough.
Yeah.
And then like, and when she even talks about, she wishes she could be more chill.
Right.
I do.
And he is more chill.
He's super chill.
Yeah.
I try, but like,
He shuffles along with his little dogs and just chill.
but I'm not. Like in my head, I'm a
Right,
fucking
there's shit going on,
nutcase.
yeah.
But
you're trying.
But
to
if I'm
not
such a
get-
nutcase in my own self,
Right.
the last thing I need is someone else. And that's partly me. I should be able to be like, okay, whatever. She's going through something, like whatever. And I have been better about that, like where I'm like, okay, this is just her. Right now, she's just having panic through her job and through guys and whatever. And, and getting hit with a razor scooter and dealing with her kidney and what dealing with real shit.
Yeah.
And I get that, and it gets pushed onto me sometimes, and sometimes and I'm trying to be like, okay, that shouldn't fuck with my brain,
Right.
but it does, like and then it's like
'Cause you
makes
care
me
about
stressed.
her.
I care
about the relationship.
I care about the relationship, and I'm just like honestly, like sometimes I'm on eggshells when I feel like I can't be honest with her because it's like because of the end, like because she's so alpha and so like. That,
And what do you
I
mean
really
by
feel
what do you
like a
mean by
little
being
bitch right
honest
now,
with
but-
her?
Huh?
What do you mean by being honest with her?
Like about like just this stuff,
The stuff
about
you're
the
saying now.
tallying and stuff, without being like, okay, but you don't do this, and it's like, okay, well, then I'll just be like, well, I don't want to do anything now because I don't want to feel like it's a competition. It's a friendship, and it's just, but it's also a
I think
business.
I start to tally when I get resentful.
Yeah.
When I'm like, you're not helping. I'm drowning, and I need your help, and I'm trying to express it to you, and you're not responding. And
But I think
so
I
then
do
I start going
respond.
like,
But I think I do respond, and I think like you're like get guests, right? I've gotten so many guests for this show. I've gotten so many guests for our stand-up show.
That's true.
like, yes, you host, and then like I do usually, and I know sometimes I mess up because I have ADD, and last time I had horrible diarrhea, but like I usually take pictures, and like one time I didn't take a picture, right? Like for instance, like I didn't take a picture one time of her, and so I put up an old picture, and she caught me. I thought it was like kind of funny, like I was like, can't she tell because it's a different black shirt? And so the next week the next show, I took a picture, but I was like, no, I'm going to just put up that picture again as a joke. And she was like, I can't. And like,
I wrote, that's not even from this year.
But then she'll put up a picture of my balding head when I shave my head. And I don't get angry. You know what I mean? I'm just.
Plus, I think it's attractive.
No, you didn't. You hated that picture. That picture looked,
The one from Stand Up?
I looked like my brain was showing.
You look fantastic. You look lean.
Your laughing belies your compliment.
You look lean.
I'm wondering what's going on. I don't know.
So I don't know. It's just those kind of things, and it's like, and they add up, or like, well, not whatever, but it's like it adds up, and then we end up not talking, and then it's like, boom, and it's like, really, we had all these like. Sometimes I feel like she's like angry at me sometimes, and she won't tell me, and then like, whatever. I mean, it's cliche, but it's like, really, that was going on in your head before, and it was like, well, fucking tell me, I guess, next time, or don't feel that way all the way. I don't know. And
right.
Like,
and that's some relationship stuff right there too, right? Or stereotypical stuff like the guy feeling like he has to read the woman's mind because she's not being direct, but she's being a little passive aggressive, and then he senses it, and that stuff happens in relationships all the time, right?
Well, because you're not supposed to sweat the small stuff, right? So you're supposed to be like,
yeah, but
you're supposed to add up the small stuff, so then it's a big
accumulate it slowly into one big one. Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Thanks, therapist. Yeah. I think I'm actually
Gerber.
pretty good at therapy.
Yeah, you are. She counts them, Mara and I.
Yeah. How long have you guys been dating?
We've known each other a little while.
I actually would like Mark free.
Don't tell her that because that means she's never going to date me.
But Mark's a bad boy. He has a tricycle. He rides.
I do. Handlebar mustache that I put on. Yeah, it's true.
Did she blow you?
No. I actually, I haven't hooked up with female comics. I've tried to make that a thing as you do. Mm-hmm. But I do hook up a lot and have a lot of sex.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot. I
love this. I love this sexy therapist.
What
it's so funny.
But I've avoided hooking up with comics because it's like hooking up with someone at work, which I've done a lot. Which is
at school.
The adults, the teachers, not the kids.
Yeah.
The other faculty.
So you don't mind that circle?
No, I learned from that. That's what I mean. I did that in the past, and I'm not going to do that anymore. Because
78% of marriages come from.
I know that's
work.
the other thing, right? Is that then it could be the one, you know. So you don't want to like.
Do you want to get married?
I don't know if I do. I think I'm open to it if it.
Have you ever lived with anyone?
I lived with someone for 5 years. Yeah, we stopped having sex after 2 years, maybe 3.
Whoa.
Why?
Yeah. That happens a lot when you live with someone. That's not uncommon at all.
No.
Therapist is getting defensive.
Well, everybody who lives together stops having sex after 2 years. Is a rule. No, well, we were fucking other people, but it was a rent thing. We were young, Our families were kind of entrenched with each other, so we just didn't break up, but we slept with other people. It was annoying. I'd have to wait for her to go home to Ohio for Christmas to bring somebody home.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she was hooking up with her ex. Yeah, it was a long thing.
That's unhealthy.
Before I was a therapist, so now.
Okay, I was like, what?
This is in my early to mid 20s. I haven't lived with someone since.
Have you been in a relationship since?
Yeah, I just broke up with someone last night.
You're kidding.
No,
you
just
seem
last
very
night.
chill about it.
That's what I'm going to go tell the story. I'm going to go tell at Kate's show at New York
Kate
Comedy.
Wolf, also divorced. Love
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
Yes.
she's awesome. I'm telling the story about my breakup. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Already? You're going to tell?
Well, it was building to it. I had been building it, and then the actual breakup happened yesterday, and now I have the closure I need, for the story. I have the.
Did you do the breakup, or did you get dumped?
No, what's funny is I planned to do the breakup, and then we were distant for 2 weeks. We didn't talk. She was away. I was away, and then I texted her. I wanted to see her this week to break up with her, and she wrote back, "I can stop by Thursday." Which normally when she came over, she would sleep over every time. So when she said, I can stop by Thursday, she knew it was up.
Yeah.
So I went to her place last night and we did it.
Is it a storytelling show?
How'd you do it?
I think it is sort of. Yeah, it's a dragon sorcery.
Who books that?
Kate.
How'd you do it?
Well, it was easy because she kind of saw it coming and she was okay with it. We're together since December. It wasn't a very long.
Oh, that's not very long.
It wasn't very long. Yeah.
What's your longest relationship other than
5 years. The woman I,
mean,
live with.
Well, that's
Since
not really
then,
a 5-year relationship.
I'm like I'm a kind of 6 to 8 monther. Kind of a 6 to 8
What's
monther.
wrong with you, Mark?
I know. Well, I should be on the other side of this, right?
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Are your parents divorced?
My parents are divorced. Yeah.
How old were
Both
you?
remarried. I was
there we
7 when
go.
they got divorced.
You were
Yeah, I
7.
was 7. Yeah.
Did they sing
And
"I
it
Got
was-
You, Babe" at your bat mitzvah? 'Cause
Bar
that's what-
mitzvah.
I wasn't
Sorry.
bar or bat mitzvah.
Yeah, he's
actually.
not. Well, you're half Jewish.
My mother's
Oh, yeah, you're
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah. My dad's Jewish, so I didn't have to go through any of that craziness.
right? Was it divorced?
But I went
dad?
to a lot of bar mitzvahs.
You have brothers, right?
I can do the bar mitzvah thing, the Baruch Atah. I can recite the whole thing.
Yeah, in a fucking Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
I can do the Baruch Atahs.
Do the Baruch Atah. I don't know.
I
Yelling
can
in the Melech
fucking Viahatas.
Do you have siblings?
I do have a younger sister.
And is she
She's
in
single too,
She's
and she's in her late
single.
30s. Yeah.
Interesting. Has she
Yeah.
been in any long-term relationships?
Not in a long time either.
Was it really rough? Your parents'
It was
relationship?
the divorce was crazy, like throwing boiled water at each other.
Oh, my God.
Breaking plates.
They'd
My
wait for
dad
the water to
my
boil?
dad running off. With,
Just stay right there.
no, my mom was making the pasta. She's Italian. She
Yeah.
was making the pasta. He was agitating her.
Yeah.
She did this, or he bites her. You know the Italian thing.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole. And he's running out of the room, and she grabbed the
Oh my
pot.
God.
It didn't hit him,
Oh,
but I don't even know if she meant to hit him. But
yeah.
it was scary. Yeah,
You guys were in the room.
we were in the house.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was up under the bed peeing, crying.
That's my pasta.
Yeah, that's what I was upset about.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. So
Okay, so
yeah,
anyways.
just to deflect away from me. Well, so is most of the stress in your relationship revolve around the podcast, or is it other friendship stuff? Is it other stuff in your relationship? It
No, I
sounds
think
like
the rest of it
your
is
grievances sounded all podcast related. So can't you guys come up with like a more specific agreement about your roles instead of just being vague about it or being like this is just kind of what I do, like flying by the seat of your pants? Can you have like a these are the things I do.
Yes,
These
but
are the
I've
things-
been pretty reserved about doing that because Andrew has a what is it called when you
A little
sabotage?
dick. Oh, sabotage. So-
He sabotages success. So
Oh.
I feel like if
Oh,
I
so
give
you're-
him responsibility, then he retreats, and
Is
then
that true,
so
Andrew?
I protect
I didn't know that.
that.
I'm a sabotager, that's for sure. I mean, look at me. I think I'm not a big write down my goals, I am kind of fly from the seat of your pants. Right?
Yeah, I feel like
Kind of guy.
Deadlines are rough.
I don't like deadlines. I don't like being told what to do. I'll be honest. I really don't. There's certain things that I don't know. It's like I want to make the best podcast possible. That's my only
and I
goal.
think we do.
So
Let him finish.
Sorry.
it's my only goal. Shut the fuck up. No, my only goal though is I want to make the best product possible, and I think that that's my main focus and focus on the funny. And now there's certain things where it's well, how many people did you add on Instagram per se, that follow divorce sites? And we did that a lot. When we first started, we were following and then unfollowing and doing all that.
Yeah.
And part of me is well, if our product is good enough that, and if we get on other podcasts and stuff like that, and maybe get some PR stuff and get some that will work itself out because it will be so good, and instead of being follow us, who knows what the retention on that is, and so it's little things like that where I'm do I
You want to let things develop a little more organically.
yeah, and I think they have now, but I think when we first started, it was very pushed. We were very pushed. We got to get big. We got to
right.
get big as fast as possible.
Right.
I don't know. So yeah, I mean,
So you guys have sort of different approaches, but you saying that you want him to do all this stuff, and then in the same breath saying that you don't necessarily trust to give him those responsibilities, then that's kind of
Well, I feel
you have
like
to
it's
decide
it's not trust. It's trusting, but also if it's a negative thing, if I give him responsibilities that are on the repeat, because it'll just.
Well, it depends
it'll make
how it's asked too. If it's you don't do this, but I have done them.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
right. So that's what I meant. I didn't mean you need to get a chalkboard and write out the things, your responsibilities. I just meant having the discussion when you're not frustrated, when you're not
Yeah.
I did all this stuff, and just like actually
I
having
always ask him in
having the
survival.
discussion at
Yeah.
the discussion at a neutral period when you're just chilling and like, all right, let's see how we can make it a little alleviate some of the stress for you and that you find reasonable that you can take on, because you with the dog walking example, he responded, and I'm not going to make a judgment on it whether it sounded reasonable or not, his response, but he felt like your grievance was maybe not so reasonable in that moment, and you didn't challenge it. The 85-15, that whole thing.
It's just who we are.
I know, but
Well, I just feel like also like tone is very big to me, and I know part of it is just I'm very sensitive to tone, probably because my dad yelled so much as a kid.
I remember that. That's in your act, right?
No, but it should be.
Yeah.
That's another sad Jew, another sad Jew with little thumbs. But no, so it's like tone. If it's like this, like, and I'm just like, and so my first thing is like, fuck you, bitch. Like that's my first like.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying have the conversation in a sort of contrived way. I know that's never. We're comics. We
and
like
I know
to just,
I'm not like I'm not saying that. Oh, it's always her. It's not her fault. It's like I definitely am lazy,
right?
But in a lot of ways, but also in a lot of ways I'm not. And it's like I just want to focus. Like let's not focus on the negatives so much, and work on the negatives. But like whatever.
Yeah.
Not in like the last second mode where it's like because then we end up fighting, and it's like. And then that comes on to the podcast. Like we've gone on the podcast where like we were about to choke each other. Not like Harvey.
How does that work out artistically? Is it sometimes good?
Well, actually, we're really
Really
good at
funny.
like psychopaths of being like, hello,
Yeah.
we weren't about to kill each other. I fucking hate her. But like you can see how like talk show hosts are able to do it.
Yeah.
Like fucking like I'm sure Regis and Kelly hated each other.
Sometimes there's those cuts of the newscaster where he's like cursing somebody out. And then
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think our problems are like that big. You know what I mean? It's
he's not through the podcast the marriage podcast is not threatened. You guys don't feel like there's a breakup imminent at all.
No. I just hope that we can both have we can both have like a normal life outside of each other.
Yeah, I feel like I can. I think it's definitely. No, I do. I mean, when you had your relationship, I was fine.
Are you like each other's +1 to weddings and stuff like that when you're both single?
No,
you
I don't invite her to the wedding.
No, I invite him everywhere. He doesn't.
Well, I
invite
think
me
that's her
anywhere.
other thing too, is that she's mad that I don't invite her to things even. But then, like, I feel like that
But
she'll
you just
invite
don't
me to
invite
things.
anybody.
She'll invite me to things. Yeah, I don't invite anyone. But like, she'll invite me, and then that will be like another tally thing. Like, I did this for you. I introduced you to this comedian and stuff like that. And it's like, well, do you want me there?
I used to. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, because it's all so fucking
doesn't
stupid.
matter.
And like, we've also, we both matured, I think, a lot over the last 4 years. Not much, but, she dyed her hair black, and, I have curls now. That's about it.
What color was your hair?
I'm blonde.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, super
I think
blonde.
I've only known you as black hair.
I think you knew me before, but
knew you as blonde?
yeah.
I met you a couple of years ago.
Yeah?
Both of you guys through the show that I was
Yeah.
producing at the time. That was
That was a fun show.
yeah, that was fun. Nice way to meet people.
Have you done chicken salad?
You should
I
do.
did it once.
Okay,
did.
okay, then not again.
We asked him to do chicken salad.
I did the
before.
check spot, and
On our show?
I was very sick. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Amy,
but like stuff
Dr.
like
Gerber is very hard to schedule with.
it is
is a-
annoying. It's annoying, but it's not because I'm doing anything that great. It's just, yeah,
you just have things to do.
yeah. Unfortunately, day job night thing is tough.
Well, what's your prognosis, Doc?
I think you guys do have some issues, and maybe you are No, I mean between the two of you together. Individually, I'm not even going there. That's way too intense. And I do too, as I revealed here, right?
Yes.
We got a little.
I almost want him to be my shrink
I
rather
know.
than the shrink I have right now. I feel like you relate way more to
just
me.
come
But I
every
think we'd end up just
Wednesday?
like fucking
Shooting the shit.
Yeah, fucking around and
Yeah.
writing jokes and be like,
Yeah.
no, but
Probably
Why am I
that would be a
still
great.
sad?
I'd be saying that would be a great joke. And like your most
exactly.
confessional
Vulnerable
moments.
moments.
Yeah.
anyways, but
Stop
yeah.
crying. You got a bit right there. You got a bit right there, man. That could be your closer, and
Yeah.
you're sitting there crying about your dad.
Oh God.
I don't, man, you guys both really feel like your podcast relationship isn't in some place where it's threatened.
No.
You're going to make it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I would say have the talks about the things that you're boiling up about when you're not in that mode. Try to. can you do this and this, but in like, because he's so sensitive to the tone, right? And that's fair. Nobody wants to be bullied or spoken to in a way. So, if these are things
You little bitch.
if these
You little bitch. Jesus.
if these are things you can't get over, then you have to talk about it, and you have to talk about it. If you can get over it, and if you want to let things be the way they are, and you're cool with that, then you have to get over it. You have to make the decision to move on from those things that he's not doing that you like him to do. If there are some things, maybe you can negotiate it a little bit, but do it like not when you're stressed about it. Do it like when you guys are like having a good time, or you're not. Is that ever? You guys just chill and not fight?
We
All right.
do.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
time.
So I have the
That's the thing. We do 99% of it, and then it's like
super
this.
fun.
But then sometimes I feel like it's like, oh, I thought we were just chilling this whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was.
Also,
like,
I've been on a lot of weird meds that have made me very emotional.
this was way before. Like cocaine and and Molly.
Yeah, my whole life I've been on drugs.
Yeah.
It's all the same
Well,
shit.
sometimes I don't realize, like, I'm crazy too, but she's also very, and like, we don't realize how crazy we are sometimes, I think. And then we're like, why would we have a positive relationship? We're both crazy
Right.
in a lot of ways. And like,
There's that.
But we're both, well, I'm meeting a therapist, and I gave her my therapist number. And I think she should, I think a lot of the things that she comes to me with, she could come to the therapist with, and then it would be like a buffer before me. So then it was already like thought out before.
So I have I have a therapist just for our relationship.
Well, not for our relationship. I mean, yes, you should.
Well, you can use those skills that you learn and how to talk to Andrew with the other men in your
Apply
life.
it to other people.
With
And
all those
honestly,
guys
if you
that
date
Andrew
anyone,
hates.
I don't think it would affect our relationship, our friendship, ever.
How
It
bad
doesn't.
boys are you dating? You dating real bad boys?
Yeah,
I could see that. It's kind of hot, actually.
I do.
It's sexy.
I love it.
Bad boys, yeah, I get it.
I
I try to be a bad boy, but I'm like such a phony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of effort to be a bad boy. You gotta wear a
know.
fucking heavy.
I was a
denim
high school
jacket.
dropout. I was a bad boy as an adolescent.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like fighting, but I was not cutting.
You sound like Woody Allen saying he was a bad boy.
I was a total bad boy. I was spanked every day.
Every day.
Bad boy, I was so bad. You know,
You have like a hint of it, like in your like.
I got the Jewish
Yeah.
New York thing a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Well, where can we find you? Where can people?
He's actually a great comic,
Yes,
by the
he is
way.
an
and I don't
amazing
know
Oh,
if
it's
he's-
comedian.
very nice.
Yeah, and
Good
you have a show
friend.
still or no? Or,
We are
No.
doing a monthly at New York.
Okay,
3-day
cool.
weekend. We moved it to New York Comedy Club.
Oh,
you guys
great.
got to both do it on the
That'd be
same
great.
night, so we can do this again. Yeah.
That's the other thing. We do get booked like as like a pair.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, are we like?
We are individuals.
Yeah.
Eric Newman and I do too. He's
Yeah.
who I produced the show with. We get booked as a pair.
It's cute.
Or he needs a ride.
He's
you know?
opening for Richard Lewis. It's
I know,
crazy.
it's crazy.
And
That's
you're not.
awesome.
No, but I'm glad for him because they're both
Yeah.
neurotic Jews who are like obsessed with their mothers and all.
Yeah.
It's a good fit.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah,
good
so I'm
fit.
happy for him. Yeah.
So if people want to follow you on the interweb, where do they find you?
Twitter is Mark A. Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
Mark with a C, very important. A, middle initial, and Gerber like the baby food.
Got it.
And then Instagram is photo no she didn't. Photo no she didn't.
Yes.
And I don't post too many jokes on there. I try to take nice artistic pictures and make captions that are punny and witty.
we'll tag you in our Happy Never After
I would like that.
post.
I will. Actually, you guys have biggest podcast I've probably been on. I've done 2 or 3. And the 2 or 3 I did, my episode was the highest. Yeah, they're smaller podcasts. But I have a lot of X's and people when I post it that will listen.
Great.
And we definitely have to have you on to share your actual
I would
story.
love to do
Yeah.
that. That'd be really
Yes.
fun. You guys are great at this, by the way. I
Oh,
can see
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, it
Thanks.
is awesome. You guys have an awesome dynamic.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
worth keeping the marriage together for it, you know? Yeah.
Anyways.
And you sure you don't want to have sex at all? Is it
No.
like
No.
nothing?
I
It's
just
like brother
imagine
sister
her pussy having like claws.
I listen to him kissing into the microphone and I just want to vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel the same way. No interest.
Disgusting.
That's good. So that's all actually good.
Yeah.
Because
awesome.
initially I
Outside
thought
looking at. Yeah.
initially I thought maybe it was the dynamic because when you brought me in, I thought maybe it was the dynamic of like I'm your guy friend, but like clearly I'm just waiting.
No.
And that's a bad dynamic. That's like the quote unquote nice guy. He's not really a nice guy. He's
That's what I had on my last show. And then I was like, oh,
you had that guy
I had like the nice guy, the long
who was
game.
really just waiting.
Yeah.
To, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was
That's
like,
bad.
ugh.
That's good that's not the case.
It's weird you didn't see it coming. It's so funny. It's so funny to me.
Wait, what?
An
What?
idiot.
No, because he's like the most sexual like person on earth who would never be
And I was
friends
like,
with
no,
women.
he's
Who
my
was a
bro.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So
All right.
photo no, she didn't. Mark.
Yeah.
Mark
Gerber,
Mark A. Gerber,
Berger
yeah.
with
With
a
a
C.
C.
Yeah.
Andrew T. Collin with an A. And that's
And then Marshall,
on
where can-
Instagram and Twitter.
Marshall, where?
Soundlounge.com.
That's when we record. You can always find us at Happy Never After Podcast on Instagram, HNA Pod on Twitter, HNA Pod at Gmail if you want to send us a question. Or you can even just hit me up directly at Mara Merrick. Thanks so much, guys.
Rate and review.
Yes, please.
Rate
This
and
is
review on
This is
iTunes.
the Patreon version, so this one isn't on iTunes. But yes, thank you guys so much for
This should
subscribing.
probably be on the regular.
I agree.